Hey folks, it's April 18th. My name's James. I'm the president of the Edmonton local of the Canadian Union of Postal Workers. It's a beautiful day out here today. There's a lot of people on the trail today, so hopefully I can get by without filming anybody. So I guess the most important thing for you guys to remember is that we start votes on Monday. Bright and early, 12:30 a.m. That's mostly for the members who work on Sunday night to attend. There should be members of the regional and national executive there to answer your questions. Remember, you need to show up preferably before the time that meeting starts because it's a closed door meeting. So once everybody's signed in, we're going to lock the doors and start the meeting. And that's the process as it's laid out in the Constitution. So earlier this week on Facebook, I published a bunch of reports. So on our unofficial Facebook page, because I don't actually have a control over the official Facebook page, that's more the communications department, and they're on holidays. So anyway, I put those reports there, broke it down by section, by group 1, group 2, group 3 and 4, and RSMCs. It's just a shortened version of it. Got some commentary of my own in there. If you want to read those, that's where you'll find them. But we do also have physical copies of the tentative agreements at the our work location at the Union Hall. We have about 1,000 copies of the urban agreement, but only about 150 copies of the RSMC agreement, and it's unclear to me as to whether we're going to get more. But they're there if you want them. I will be delivering some, hopefully, to some facilities over the next week. Fortunately, they arrive late, so they're not going to be there for the first couple of votes. I will put in the notes the link to the voting address for those and times for those first two meetings. One will be Monday at the Union Hall, and the other one will be Thursday at the Italian Center just off of St. Albert Trail. So I hope you guys can attend those. We'll look forward to it. So proving that the company can get things done when they want to, on Monday, this past Monday, we consulted with the retail management about some changes they wanted to make. Basically, they wanted to move a position and they just wanted that to happen. But the long story short, when they do that, they delete a position and move another one, they need to do a bid for the section. So they managed to get that already done. The entire retail section is bid. Cards lay where they lie. There might be a couple of changes that will come otherwise. Speaking of bids, there is a P04 bid for collections and delivery. These are for the P04s who work in the depots. They are considered to be their own section, and so it's just internal bidding, but it is a bid for all part-time members in those sections. So that should be going on right now. There's also an upcoming bid for various sections at the plant. The consultation for that is on the 6th. We've already had to get a couple of things rectified to change about identification of shifts. Any shift that ends or starts or exists after 6 p.m. is considered to be shift 3. And any shift that goes after midnight or before 6 a.m. is considered to be shift 1. And that was not how it was being represented. It appears that they're trying to shift a lot of people onto shift 3, kind of, into that area of time, probably to optimize the labor at that point. We have a number of problems with this. Some of them aren't as big as others, but I've been talking to the VP for the plant and the lead stewards and shop stewards, and some members have contacted me from there. And so we're looking for counter proposals. So speak to your lead stewards about what you're looking for. It really doesn't matter what you guys think, all right? And currently there are 5 restructures ongoing in the city for letter carriers. For the members of the public who might be watching this, this happens on a regular basis. Every 2 to 3 years, they restructure the positions to make sure that people are actually doing the work they're paid to do, rather than having the routes get easier and easier over time. So just so you know that. But they're combining the depots at downtown from Depot 1 and 11 into a single depot. They're probably doing the same thing at Whitemud South at 4 and 8. The Depot 2 restructure just started, and St. Albert is now on the schedule for later this year, probably into 2027. None of these are going to be CMB conversions, but they are all conversions to SSD, which is separated sort and delivery, where, again, for members of the public who might be watching this, they're taking the sortation part of the route away from the delivery agent, extending their time out on the street, and removing their ability to fix problems with routes or deal with the issues, and handing it off to another person. So at the downtown depot, we are going to lose a significant number of positions, probably a dozen. I'm not sure. Right now it's looking like 17, although we may be able to save one because they are making 4 part-time routes, and that's not entirely necessary, seeing as they're probably just going to do another restructure when they do the CMB conversion. The excuse of waiting for growth in certain areas isn't really valid. And they haven't told us how many routers they're going to get. With the number of routes, I'd expect 4 or 5, although I think 5 might be generous, the way they've been doing it at other depots. So I've been looking up how we're going to deal with this, and I immediately went to job security, but job security says if it's a restructure, you got to go to Article 47, which is restructures, and then they talk about how we have to find jobs for people, but again, not layoffs. So that's a good thing, but I'm not sure exactly how it's going to work out because there could be bumping of people with low seniority. I'm going to try and push the best way forward, and hopefully we don't get to the part of Article 53 where people end up laid off, which is, again, that job security that isn't really security, but hopefully we don't get there. So the big news this week is about the CMB conversions. In the documents that were presented by Canada Post, there aren't any CMB conversions scheduled for the Edmonton local at this time. We're going to really need to rally up and gather around this idea. They like to say that 25% of the addresses need to be changed to CMBs, but that's 4 million addresses. 4.5 million, but there are only 8 million single-family homes in Canada, so that's not a real number. If you include, so it's about 50% of single-family homes get mail to CMBs, and 50% of them get it to the door. Because if you include condos and apartments in that math, that's how they do that. But I'm a condo dweller. I get mail to the front door of my building into my lobby. I can walk out there in my pajamas and my slippers, but that's not an option for single-family home dwellers in February to do that. Just be a bunch of cars all idling, collecting their mail in a park somewhere. So we need to talk about that, and we need to talk about the post office closures, because John Hamilton has said that they're only going to be in urban areas, but the media has been saying it'll only be in suburban areas. But the 100 post offices protected by our collective agreement are all in urban areas. So it's quite likely that we'll lose all 5 in Edmonton in favor of contracting our work out to Shoppers Drug Mart, London Drugs. Although in the agreement that we're voting on, it says that they're not going to subcontract our work out. I don't know what the difference is. It's the same thing. They've already been doing it. They've been doing it without talking to us about it. I have put a couple of grievances in for some of them because they've been sending our parcels rather than to our own post offices to London Drugs and the like. So I'm trying to save that work, but the grievance system takes forever. So it's probably unlikely to have any effect in the near future. So anyway, the votes, I'm going to publish the link in the comment section of the TikTok video so you guys can get the most recent up-to-date information on when those are going to be. The first one is on Monday at the Union Hall. There'll be a couple of votes throughout the day. Show up on time, bring your ID, all that good stuff. We have to have the meeting. It's part of our contract, our constitution. All right. Guys, have a great day. I'll see you on Monday.